What's up, everybody? This is Jesse, recording from Southern California. As you can see with my background image, uh, you can thank my wife for putting that background on, and she probably took the picture too. She's into taking cool photos like this. Anyways, I just want to spend about 3-5 minutes on this chart that I was talking about on Twitter, how I plan to exit Bitcoin at its peak and try to nail the top. And then I'll throw in a quick 1-minute bonus of, most people shouldn't do this, but how I shorted Tesla and then, other stocks like Zoom and stuff when I thought they were going parabolic, and, how I'm planning to do Bitcoin as well. But anyways, let's get right into it. You see, I started with 2017 Bitcoin at its peak in December. So if we're going to compare, now this is the only clean chart I have, so it's not going to show you the price point. It's just going to tell you the market cap, as you can see. It's the only one I don't have a bunch of trend lines and stuff on it. So this is the cleanest one I can find. So really, I just start with a basic, longer, call it a prime trend line, right? And extend it out just to kind of give us a base. So that goes back from March 2017, we'll just call it, to this last point, February 2018. So it's a pretty good long trend line right there. And so when I talk about parabolic, is when price starts to go up quickly, faster than it probably should, right? And that's when you're getting kind of close to a top. So if you add another line, say you add one from here, maybe there to there, right? So that's getting more steep, even more steep. And then you go from here and you take it straight up, and that's what I would call the parabolic trend line right there. So if you block these out down to 1 and you focus on that one, that's where price starts to go parabolic. And that's from the middle of November to the middle of December for the peak. So about 30 days. And if you've been on Jordan's live streams and the modeling team, Ian specifically, talking about the last 30 to 35 days, watching price go parabolic. Well, I had the same primary trend line when I shorted Tesla at $880, and I'll show you an example of that. But if all you did was see where this parabolic trend line starts, sometime in November, and it starts connecting points, and you draw it out to, say mid-December. I have December 19th plus or minus 2 days. We'll see if that works out or not. You draw it out, and once we get to the top and it breaks down from the parabolic trend line, you would catch the top minus about 13-14%. If you also have been on Jordan's live streams, you'll have heard him say several times over and over again, he thinks you're a hero as a trader if you can catch within 20 to 25%. Well, you don't need a million different indicators to catch that, in my opinion. And the parabolic trend line is going to help you do that. And like I said, within 13 to 15%. So if you got out here and price is, I'm just going to throw out a number. Obviously, I think the top is, you've seen my work, I'm sure. I think it's 350,000. So 350,000 minus 10%, you're catching the top, or 300,000 plus, right? So, it depends on what you invested in. I'm sure you had a good return on your money, 5x, 8x, 20x, whatever price you got in, right? If this was, around the $300,000 mark, you'd be considered a hero, right? So that's the parabolic trend line. It only takes a couple minutes and to figure it out. And so we're on this long one here. We're probably about right here, getting into it, and then going into that third wave. And you always see me post about wave 2, wave 3. this would be going into wave 3. This would be wave 3 right here. I think we're about right here heading into wave 2. So we'll get out of wave 2, wait for it to correct, try to time getting back into wave 3, you know, maybe a line right here, getting off topic of the parabolic trend line. But then from here to here, that 30-day wave 3 is going to be explosive. And so we'll draw this line out, the parabolic trend line. I'll even label it. And then once it starts breaking down, that's where I'm getting out of my spot position for sure. And the goal is to capture more Bitcoin. And that's the whole reason I'm doing it. Now, for the quick bonus, I don't want to spend too much time because, you know, 95% of traders lose money. If you're shorting tops, it's not a good business to be in. Obviously, you know, I've always been a risk taker. Took on too much risk, you know, shorting, but, you know, I learned the hard way and then made up for it on Tesla shorts and stuff like that. So anyways, let's just draw a quick little line right here. Okay, so this right here is what I would call the bounce. On Jordan's live stream, he calls it the Willy Woo point, because Willy Woo talked about on his live stream that he would get out there. That's the bounce. The reason why I wouldn't get out there is because when this happens, this area right here, from this big shock all the way up here, a lot of people are going to be trying to hit the exits. So I'm not trying to get out here when everybody else is trying to get out. You know, here, not everyone's trying to get out, but right here, everybody really is trying to get out. I'm not going to fight the crowds to the exits. I'm going to get out here as fast as I can here. And then when it bounces back up, and we call it the bounce, that's when I'm going to short. And I'm going to put my short on all the way down to here. And that will be possibly, you know, even more exciting than the actual bull cycle itself. They say take the stairs up and the elevator down. Well, that's 65% in, well, like I said, I didn't want to get into it too much because it's most people shouldn't be doing that. 65% in 30 days. So anyways, that's why I'm excited for the bounce. But I would get out here, and that's the parabolic trend line. The bonus, you know, this is where I plan to short. This is the safest part, because the reason why this is the all-time high, this puts in the lower high, just like back in May. And then recently on my wave 1 at 52,500, this was the bounce. And I put the short on as practice to make sure that, you know, my skills are sharpened for the peak, and not only nail the top, but nail the bear market the first 5 months especially. So anyways, if you know, if you have any questions, leave comments. I'll try to answer as many as I can, whether it's on YouTube or Twitter, and be happy to go through it with you. If anyone wants more detail, I can always, you know, do a longer video, but that's just the gist of it. We don't have to worry about it yet, because first we got to worry about nailing wave 2 and then wave 3. Obviously, as Tech Dev said, this is not financial advice. I don't do that. This is just charts and ideas, and you know, this is just my thought process. So anyways, hope everyone enjoyed it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.